Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Joffrey Noodle Legs here today, Little Sullivan singing there. Here we are again on Christmas Horror Movie Week. I'm having to do this video again because I've just done it, but PrudeTube very kindly decided to block it. Obviously copyright over the clips that I've used. It's bizarre because it's like a really unknown, well not unknown, but you know, not the most sort of like, if I was doing something major like a major Christmas movie like Gremlins or something, I could understand it, but I'm not. I did Christmas Evil, okay, but it's been blocked, so I have to do it again without the clips. Anyway, this is the 88 film slasher collection version of the film, released by 88 Films. I'll give you a little synopsis on the film, okay? The film is kind of like, starts off with Santa Claus in this house, and you've got this two children and a mother watching Santa from the stairs, hidden in the stairwell, watching him. And he sort of puts presents down on the tree, and he has a drink and all that sort of stuff, and all the kids are sort of like wow, you know, amazed looking at him. So then they sort of go off. Oh, what is that? They go off and they sort of up to bed, and then they start having a sort of argument between each other. One of the boys said, "Oh, it's Dad. It's definitely Dad." And the other kids go, "No, it's not. No, it's not." I think that's his name's Harry. Said, "It's a real Santa Claus. It's the real Santa Claus." Anyway, after that little bit of jibber jabber, they we cut to one of the lads going out of the room to sneak down to see what Santa's left, sort of thing, I think. And he catches something he doesn't really want to see. He catches a Santa and his mum's getting her present already. Yeah. So that's he doesn't want to see that, and it really sort of stresses him out. So he runs upstairs to, I think it's a different room, like the attic or something. And he then smashes this sort of snow globe on the floor into bits and cuts his finger and stuff like that. Random. And then we cut to the present day, and Harry, the young boy who just did that, has grown up, and he's now like a man, and he's dressed in Santa pajamas. Okay, and then he gets up and he puts the Santa music on, and you see his house, it's all full of toys and sort of like dolls and Santa Claus posters and stuff like that, and he's just like obsessed with Santa Claus. It's really bizarre. So we get introduced to his flat. We see his flat. Then we see him out on the roof of the building with some binoculars watching children. You know, and first of all, when I first saw this years ago, I thought, oh, this isn't going to be about a paedophile, is it? And it's not, thankfully. He was just watching these children because he believes he's Santa Claus, and he's watching them see if they're being good or bad, because he's making books, a naughty list and a good list. And he sees one children all behave themselves being good, and he gets to one boy and he sees him looking at the Penthouse magazine, so he goes straight onto the naughty list. Anyway, so that goes on for a bit more, and we see a bit more of him at his home talking to himself, being a bit crackers. And I'm trying to think what happens after then. I say, because I did this a few days ago. So, but I said they've decided to block my video. We then join Harry at his workplace called Jolly Dreams, and the toys they make there look awful. They look like Poundland Special toys, you know, or something you buy in like an old 1980s newsagent, you know, on the back rack. Really terrible toys, really ghastly. But Harry thinks they're amazing. Anyway, so we cut to there, and he's at work, and he's talking to some of his work colleagues, and they're going, and one of them comes in called Frank, who said he's going away for a weekend with his wife, and he wants someone to do his shift for him. Do you want to come up? Come on in. Oh, here he is. Here's the baby. Oh, look, here's Sullivan. Here he is. Hello, everybody. We've not seen him for a little while, have you? Look at him. He's one of his little Christmas jumpers. How cute's that? He's so cool. He's so beautiful. Eat your baby. Yeah. So that's so he asks Frank to do it, and Frank doesn't want to do it. Um, then we cut to more sort of like clips of the rubbish toys being made, and then we see Harry in the office. I think he's been promoted to like a sort of supervisor, and this Frank phones him up again and says, "Please do it for us, mate. You know, I'll do you a favour, whatever." And then Harry agrees to doing it. So Harry then has to do like a double shift. So Harry does his other shift, and you see him on the thing, doing the toys, sort of like on that sort of thing. And then he finishes work, and he goes off home, and he passes like a bar and a pub, and he sees that Frank inside with his mates having a drink, and he's just saying that he's managed to con Harry into doing his shift so he can go out for a drink. So Harry's not pleased about that. He goes home, and then you sort of see Harry acting in a sort of really disturbed sort of way, really stressed out about it, and sort of singing and humming to himself. It really reminds me, this film, of the film Maniac, except it's not as nowhere near as brutal or anything like that. But it does remind me of Maniac in a lot of ways, in the sense of like Harry's behaviour, and with all the sort of like dolls and stuff around the house. Anyway, Harry gets really stressed out, and you can see that he's got some sort of issues going on. He's almost like a little bit schizophrenic as well, really, if you think about it, because he actually believes that he's Santa Claus as well as Harry. Then we see Harry watching the Thanksgiving parade on TV, and he phones up his brother, who's living in his old house, and he's telling him he's not going to go to this Thanksgiving. And his brother then picks up that there's something wrong with Harry, not right. We cut to Harry outside the old house he used to live in, but his brother's living in now with his little family, and Harry's sort of like not stalking, but nosing through the windows and stuff like that. And he sees his brother and his wife starting to get a bit, you know, cozy, if you like, and he sort of reminds him of like when his mum and Santa Claus was like that. So that sort of freaks him out even more. It then goes spying on some of the kids again, especially the naughty boy one, and seeing what he's doing. And then the naughty boy with his mum are going out. And so Harry has to quickly hide behind the bush, which when they're going to the car, the boy and his mum, the little boy sees the sort of bush moving, and he goes over to it, and then Harry gives him like a jump scare, and they drive off. And so then we sort of cut nearer to the Christmas time, and Harry's at his Christmas party, and he finds out that his company are lying, saying they're giving all these toys to this charity, this like hospital for children charity, and they're not. They're just saying that just to get publicity. He goes a bit upset about it, so while the party's going on, he goes into the warehouse and steals loads and loads of toys, and he puts them in his van. His van is a white van, but he's painted it up with like a sleigh on it. In some of the clips of back at the house when I was telling you about, he was doing all this sort of stuff, and he made his own sort of Santa outfit while he's singing to himself and talking to himself and stuff. So yeah, it's very much like Maniac, that part of the film. And then sort of like the film then changes because we get to Christmas. And that's really all the synopsis I'm going to tell you, apart from it turns into a Christmas slasher horror film where Harry, who believes he's Santa Claus, fixes himself up like that and goes on a sort of killing spree sort of thing. But it's not a bad killing, well, it is a bad killing spree, but it's not like the one you'd think it is. It's not just killing anybody. Anybody that's being good, he's fine with. Like, he takes all those toys to the hospital and gives them to them. He goes past a party and they invite him in and give him a drink, and he has a little dance, and that way it's nice to them. But anyone that's naughty gets sort of like bumped off, including that Frank guy. So that's the synopsis of the film. What do I think of Christmas Evil? It's a great film. It's great fun. I like the way it sort of like turned out. It's not obvious. It wasn't like, like an obvious sort of slasher. It's got like elements of like more sort of like psychological sort of side of it, where you can see the sort of turning over the period closer we get to Christmas of Harry's mental health, sort of like getting more sort of like extreme and sort of like that sort of thing. And I quite like that. And there's a few killings in the film, and some of them are quite cool. There's nothing majorly brutal, but they're still quite cool, which I liked. Yeah, it was a good little film. The pluses of this, the transfer in it is beautiful, really nice. It's a 4K transfer of the original print, really nice. Our 88 Film have done a really good transfer on it. The acting's really cool. The guy that plays Harry, what's his name? Brandon Margaret. It's really cool. He plays the film really well. I really like it. And he did remind me a lot of, like I said, the Maniac. Nowhere near as extreme or brutal as that. But there was some sort of similarities. And it was really cool. Negatives of the film, I just wish there were more kills. And I just wish there was gorier as well. I think it just needs that little bit more. There is still quite a bit, because it's quite a slow burn film, because you're getting to know Harry, which I think really helps this film a lot. And in the last third of the film, it's like the slasher movie, which is good fun, really cool. Great Christmas horror movie, this. And that's all I can say about it. It is a great Christmas slasher movie. So I'm going to score this a awesome watch and give it 8 out of 10. I can't give it any more than that, simply because, like I said, it sort of lacks kills. There was about, I don't know how many there are, probably about 5 or so. And I think just a bit more, he could have done a bit more of the rampaging bit and going in people's houses and doing stuff would have been cool. And some more gore. But there's not in there. But now, and there we are. But it gets 8 out of 10 because it's a really cool film, really good. And this film does have some extras in there. It does have like interviews with like Brandon and the director and things like that. Really cool, nice little additions on there. Really good films. 8 out of 10, Christmas Evil. And that's my review. That, sorry guys, it's not the most exciting reviews, like I said, but I did do one. Went off about 20 odd minutes with loads of clips and some. I messed up a bit in there, but I'm kind of glad, really. Yeah, but there we go. But it was a really good film, and I was a bit gutted that they sort of blocked that. But there we go. They can't really block it now because all I'm showing is the cover, you know. But if they block that, then I've got there's nothing I can do about it. Anyway, that's my the fourth Christmas horror movie review. So tomorrow is the last one of that of the Christmas horror movie review, and I'm going to be looking at a franchise. Well, it's not a franchise. Well, it kind of is, but it started off as one film and turned into like a little franchise. And I reviewed the first film earlier in this week, and we're returning to Silent Night, Deadly Night, but this time part 2. That's going to be tomorrow's review. But fingers crossed, they will allow me to put some clips on it. We'll see. Done all right so far. Luckily, the only one that's got blocked, actually 2 have been blocked over the last couple of weeks. Last week in my disturbing movie, Last House on the Left, has been blocked in some countries, and I believe including the UK, which is a bit weird. But there we go. It's going to be down to copyright laws in these countries. So that was blocked. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I should have redone that one again. But because it's only blocked in some countries can still view it. So I've left it up there. And I've had this one blocked, the Christmas Evil. But there we go. I can't do nothing about it. Check out some horror channels, guys, before tomorrow's review. Check out Horror Hands, Horror Geek, The Man v Film, RS Designs, I Am the Ice Lord, Pizzlewell, and of course, Sarah of Horror. Lovely little channel. Till next time, guys, look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really hope I'll see you all soon.